We haven't got the players. We could replace the manager every season, but we're not going to get the results that we need because the players are simply not good enough. They haven't got the composure. They are not skillful enough to play for this. Welcome to the Man Utd stream. Hope you're doing well. It's Monday morning and reality has hit home. We drew 1-1 against Ipswich away from home. Ruben Amorim's first game turned out to be an absolute dismal one, but of course it wasn't his fault. He's literally had 3 training sessions with these players and we were let down once again. We've got so much to discuss in today's show. I mean, you're going to have to hold on to your seats because it's going to be a wild one. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber to the Man Utd stream channel so you can keep up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and more from one single daily dose. So we had a new manager, we had a new formation, but we had the same players. Yes, these players have let so many managers down over the years, and well, Amorim has had the liberty, or he's had the benefit of these players letting him down in his first game. At least he's been brought back to reality really quickly, and he knows what challenge he's got on his hands. I mean, look, they did a dirty one on Solskjaer. They actually gave him 6-7 games where he actually was riding high, thought, right, okay, I'm going to be the biggest and best manager in United's history after Sir Alex Ferguson, and we all know how that ended for Solskjaer. The players just stopped playing for him and then they let him get the sack, and well, at least Amorim knows that the players are not on his side. Even that 60-second bounce back which Rashford gave the new manager, well, it ended very quickly. 60 seconds, he got that goal, or 80 seconds, whatever it was. Amad Diallo, brilliant down the wing, got that early goal, and many of us, I mean, we as United fans were going crazy watching the game. We were like, this is it, man. This could be a 4-0, 5-0. How much goals are we going to score today? And then it just suddenly, we just fell off the cliff. We fell off the cliff, and after that goal, it was just the end of Man United playing well. I mean, actually, to be fair, I think that goal was an accident. It was an accident because even on Rashford's face, you could see that he was not expecting to score a goal. He probably thought, whoa, what's going on here? I've just scored this goal. Right, take it easy. Let's not celebrate too much because that was unexpected. I mean, look, if they played well and got that goal, I think I would have said, right, okay, this is good. But it happened too quickly. It happened too quickly, so we hadn't seen what United had lined up like and what they were playing like. But reality hit home really quickly. United were terrible. Their players were terrible. We did not know what was going on. Now, on paper, even Amorim must have looked at his team and thought, we've got enough. We've got enough to go out there and beat Ipswich. But us United fans, we know what to expect from these current crop of players at Man United. We know that these players rather go on holiday just before a big match like this. They'd rather go off on holiday than stay back and train with the new manager and get used to what his tactics are and what his formation is. Well, yeah, they don't care about anything like that. Why would they care about that? They're just getting paid £300,000 plus per week to be at United and play for Man United, but who cares? Let's go on holiday instead. Let's go and watch NBA or anything else rather than stay behind and perfect what I'm getting paid to do per week. Now, I liken these United players to an old car that you've bought. Now, you've been having some problems with it. You know it's breaking down. You keep fixing it. It keeps on running, but then it stops again and it keeps on needing more and more repairs. Now, you deep down in your heart already know that when you're driving it and it's giving you a couple of miles, you're thinking, it's going to break down again, isn't it? It's going to break down again. And that's exactly what these players are like. You know what they like. You know their history. You know that even if they're having 1 or 2 good games, they're actually going to play crap again, aren't they? They're not going to give you what you want in the big games. In the games where you need them to turn up, they're not going to turn up. And there were so many players in yesterday's game for United that just were terrible. In fact, it's easier to name the players that played better for Man United than the other way around. I mean, Onana, Mazraoui and Amad Diallo, 3 of the best players on that pitch for Man United, and that's it. That's it. The rest of them were absolutely terrible. Now, you know on the Man United stream channel, we do not like picking on players directly, but this game calls for it. It does call for it. Marcus Rashford went off on holiday, didn't care that there's a new manager in play, didn't care that he might benefit from staying back, doing a few extra training sessions, get to see what the new manager's all about and what he wants him to play like. Nope. I'm off on holiday, I'll come back and walk straight into that team. I was actually surprised that he was picked for the team. If I was the manager, I would not have picked him. But again, you see this from lots of managers who come in at United. They favour Marcus Rashford. And I think that's because on paper, when they see him from a distance, they're looking at Marcus Rashford and saying, he's the star boy of United. He is a name that sticks out. And of course, on paper, you think this guy is going to do some damage. So what does he do? He plays him up front strike and you think, perfect. Maybe this might ignite Marcus Rashford to play better, but that was just typical Marcus Rashford. We had for a couple of seconds, yes, he got the goal, but then after that, you didn't see him in the rest of the game. But it wasn't just Rashford this time, was it? We had Bruno Fernandes, the captain, again, headless chicken. I always look at him and he looks like a headless chicken to me, running around the pitch, not knowing what to do. His ball playing is awful, his decision making is awful. He's just not got the composure in the centre of that pitch. You want the captain to be dictating everything there. You want him to be the architect of everything that's going on that pitch. But he's not that guy. He might do it one-off here and there. Bruno might score a worldie, but who cares? Who cares if it happens once in every 10 games? You do not want that. You'd rather have a steady Eddie Bruno in the middle of that park rather than having a wonder goal in every 10 games. I'd rather have a Bruno Fernandes that actually dictates everything that goes on that pitch. He is someone who everything should be going through. He should be creating more assists. I don't want the wonder goals now and then. Who cares about rubbish like that? Another player that had an awful game yesterday was Diego Dallo. I mean, he looked like he didn't know what the hell he was meant to be doing. What was his job role? I mean, he just did not know what to do, whether to defend, whether to go forward. Every time he went forward, he just didn't know what to do with the ball. I mean, it was just typical Man United players. I mean, they're just heads gone. But it wasn't even that they were losing heads gone. It was just simply they did not know what to do going forward. And Dallo was just an example of how poor Man United were yesterday. And then you got the two central midfield players in Casemiro and Eriksen for Man United. Now, for me, this is the most important position on the pitch. In a Premier League game, in the Premier League, you need your two centre mids to be absolutely phenomenal. And we've seen that with Man City losing Rodri and now they're losing every game. This is how important that position is. You need two formidable players in the middle of that pitch. And if you've got any weakness in that middle of that pitch, your whole team's going to be horrendous. And that's what I find with Casemiro and Eriksen. I do not know why every manager that comes in keeps on playing Eriksen. Yes, I understand that he's a good playmaker and he can pass the ball really well, but he hasn't got the legs. So you've got two players in there who really can't run, can't close anything down. And if you put two young centre midfield players in the opposition against them, they're shafted. They are shafted because they're not going to keep up with them. And that's what we found with Ipswich yesterday. They were more hungry, they were young, they were just running all over the place, and United did not know what to do with them. Now, one player that actually stood out for me as one of the best players was Amad Diallo yesterday. Amad Diallo, but what was the problem with him? He was playing too far back. He was defending more than he should be attacking. And again, that is something that needs sorting out over time. I understand he needs to work out how he can go forward and then defend, but maybe even switch him with another forward player like Garnacho or Rashford. I mean, they did not offer anything going forward. The whole team was an absolute shambles, but it wasn't down to the manager. That's what I have to say. I have to say Ruben did a great job. He came in, he G'd up the players, he stuck with them, he's sticking with them, and he's saying, look, you guys go and prove me wrong. But it did not work out, did it? It didn't work out, and we're all now left scratching our heads thinking, how the hell do we sort this out? What now for Ruben Amorim going forward? He must know that these players are the issue. They've done it time and time again. They've had so many different managers come in and some very good managers come in trying to manage them, trying to get the best out of them, but they're just simply not good enough. And Ruben Amorim must know that. He must sit there in secret. He must know. He obviously isn't going to publicly say it. He's not going to come out and say all the players are crap because he's going to lose the dressing room. He needs to keep the dressing room. He needs to keep these players on side until he can work out a way of getting them out. And the only way he can get them out is by bringing in replacement players before he gets rid of them and then slowly nudges the players out. And I'm talking about Rashford. I'm talking about even players like Casemiro, like Eriksen, who's already on his way play out. We've got lots of players in that team that should not be there. I mean, this is not a Man United team. A team that doesn't give a crap. Their players just simply do not want to work. And that's not what we call a Man United team. The rival fans are laughing at our faces because they know we haven't got the players. We could replace the manager every season, but we're not going to get the results that we need because the players are simply not good enough. They haven't got the composure. They are not skillful enough to play for this Man United team. They lose the ball too much, and I know Ruben Amorim already knows this. He is watching from a side and he can see that these players are shit. They're completely rubbish. So he is working now probably overtime thinking, how do I go out there and get new players to bring in? And how do I even tell Ineos that they've got a bunch of crap players playing for him? How do I tell him this? There's a few players that he could possibly keep, but most of them are absolutely horrendous. I mean, look, Lenny Euro, brilliant. Martinez, brilliant. Diallo, brilliant. Mazraoui, absolutely sensational. Onana, stick with him. I think he's improving. And then you've got the midfield, scrap the whole bloody lot. Scrap the whole lot. Even Bruno Fernandes. I know it's controversial, but I even think Bruno Fernandes is not good enough to be playing in the Premier League for Man United. That is my controversial comment for the day. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. You might agree, you might not, you might disagree, but let me know. And then the strike force, scrap every single one of them, bar Garnacho. I think Garnacho still has lots to offer, and I think he can become a top player going forward, but we need to bring in new strikers. Zertsky, Højlund, absolutely rubbish. Absolutely horrendous. I mean, Højlund, again, maybe you could argue that he's young, he's still got time to improve. But Zertsky, I mean, what a player. This guy is absolutely rubbish. He's absolutely rubbish. He can't do anything. He comes on, he just runs around. I really cannot understand what his purpose is. Really can't understand what Zertsky is there for. Drop your comments below. Let us know what you think about yesterday's game. What you think is the future for Man United. It is going to be hard work for Ruben Amorim. Let's see what he does. You're watching the Man United Stream channel by the fans for the fans.